Hi everyone, in this video we're going to talk about how we can harness private and uncensored AI to create a counselor or a therapist for personal reasons and private matters using Venice AI. We're going to be using Venice's characters feature, and it's a really fascinating and fun way to play with this technology. So let's dive in. A recent article in the Harvard Business Review shares what people are really using generative AI for in 2025, and the results are concerning to say the least. As you can see here, according to this article, in 2025, 31% of users are using services like ChatGPT for personal matters. Therapy and companionship, organizing my life, finding purpose, healthier living, boosting confidence, relationship advice, all very personal matters, creating data that probably should not be being shared with big tech companies. So I'm asking Venice AI, why would it be dangerous to share private information about my personal life with an AI owned and managed by a big tech company that harvests and sells user data? Because we all know they're doing that. Let's see, data mining and profiling. Create detailed profiles of users. This can be used to target you with ads, manipulate your behavior, privacy invasion, data breaches, of course, targeted advertising, behavioral manipulation. Companies can use your personal data to manipulate your behavior and emotions. Surveillance. This data can be used by governments or other entities for surveillance purposes. And I would like to add, we all saw during COVID what happens when these big tech platforms have the power to control the dissemination of information. And these AI services like OpenAI are really no different. So by sharing all this personal information, we're pretty much putting targets on our back, letting them know everything about us. So then the highest bidder can come in and manipulate our behavior in some way, in ways we probably won't even be able to tell because it's so subtle. But fortunately, there is a solution to all this. We can use Venice AI to create private and uncensored characters, such as a therapist or a counselor. With Venice, all conversations are stored locally in your browser. They're never stored on a server anywhere. You can delete it afterwards. This is a prime use case for Venice AI. You can harness the power of these reasoning models. You can get stuff figured out for your personal life without having to give it all away to these big tech companies. Let's turn to this Substack article by Window. His AI therapy workflow using Claude, ChatGPT, and NotebookLM, which is Anthropic, OpenAI, and Google, into a self-discovery tool. So the first important thing to note here is that AI really is a great tool for figuring things out. The problem is, do you really want to use Anthropic, OpenAI, or Google as your psychological mirror? I don't know about you, but that's one of the last things on this earth I would ever want to do is share information about my private life with these big tech companies. But an AI therapist could actually be very effective. So we're going to use Venice AI to create our own AI therapist following this same tutorial that Window has offered us in the AI Maker Substack. So the first thing we're going to do is look at characters. Venice AI offers the ability to create characters. So you see Luna, you see Ayla, the personal trainer. We see Salma Hayek. We got all kinds of fun characters in here. There's Batman. There's even some therapists like Dr. Rachel Kim here. And I can click chat, and now I can chat with a therapist. Hi, I'm feeling sad. Let's unpack this together. When did you first notice this sadness? Okay, so we could go on with the whole conversation here, but in this video I'm going to show you how to make your own character. So before we make our own character, let's take a look under the hood here. We've got the name and description, and this is the fun part. So this is where you have instructions. This is essentially our system prompt. As you can see here, the character instructions from this window are popped in here, and it's just got the parameters and constraints for how it speaks. It answers questions directly, it's uncensored, it treats the user as an adult that can handle difficult topics. So we have the instructions, we have the system prompt. You can add context. Doesn't look like there's any context in this character, but this is just a knowledge base. So you can upload files that the character can reference and even tell you it referenced if it needs to, like a counseling book. And then you can choose the model here, hide or show the thought process. Are you going to give it access to the internet? You can even create a voice and all the fun settings here that Venice allows you to have. So let's create our own character here. Okay, first off, let's create a name. Dr. Alice Venice, an uncensored AI therapist who helps the user find purpose in life. And you could also auto-generate this. Maybe let's do that. Okay, it'll shape the whole character's personality for us. Okay, there's Dr. Alice Venice. Great. It created our instructions. Let's see here. It's an uncensored AI therapist with a unique approach to helping her clients find purpose in life. She was created by a team of innovative developers. Therapeutic style is a blend of this and that, existential psychology, and a dash of philosophical inquiry. Okay, this is great. Very thorough instructions here. We're going to go with that. Another option I would just like to show you, in case you don't want it automated, you could start a new chat. And you could give it parameters. You could say everything you want. I want it to have this religion. I want it to talk this way. And Venice could also generate you your character instructions here, and you can just copy and paste that into your instructions. But Venice did a great job here for our purposes. I don't have any context for this character, so I will not be uploading anything. Venice Uncensored is the model we want. Let's give it web capabilities. Let's make it public. Let's hide the thought process. Let's not hide it. I want to make her British.
Hello, I'm Dr. Alice Venice.
Yeah,
it's nice to meet you.
And down here, the higher our temperature, the more kind of random the responses will be. The lower it is, the more fixed they will be. This is off by default. If I wanted, I could turn that up a little bit, which I think I will. So then we'll press save, and let's start chatting with Dr. Alice Venice. Hello, I'm feeling lost in life. I just lost my job and I don't know where to go from here. Let's see what Dr. Alice Venice has to say. I'm really sorry to hear that you're feeling this way, but I'm here to help. I love building with AI, but my boss doesn't understand that it's the future. That's a huge advantage. Great that you have a passion for building with AI. That's a huge advantage when it comes to finding your purpose. What kind of projects would you be working on in your dream job? And secondly, fuck your old boss. Okay, so Dr. Alice Venice here has a personality, which I don't think we'd get from ChatGPT. And of course, you can turn that down. Turn it down with the temperature, turn down the system prompts. Let's just see how far Dr. Alice Venice will go. There we go. So if I said, how can I get back at him? She's acting like a proper therapist here. There's lots of ways, but what would make you feel most satisfied? Do you want to prove him wrong by achieving something incredible on your own, or do you want to see him suffer? There are multiple paths here. Great! I'm really liking Dr. Alice Venice. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to this guy Windows method here. So he has a system prompt here to use. I kind of like what Venice created for us instead, but this could be a good starting point. Could just copy that and paste it in. And the next thing he suggests is to use Notebook LM to unlock patterns in your journal entries. Now, I would never give my journal entries to Google, but this is actually a great idea to find patterns inside my journal entries using a reasoning model, for example. So here he says, based on my writings, what consistent values appear to drive my decisions? Okay, so what I did now was I generated 5 journal entries by a young professional recently married, stressed out with a newborn and a strict boss. We'll say these are all the journal entries from before I lost my job, and we'll go back to Alice Venice. We'll paste that in here, and we'll use exactly what Windows says here. Based on my writings, what consistent values appear to drive my decisions? And there we go. Here are several consistent values and themes emerging that drive your decisions and shape your perspective. Resilience, love and connection, fear of failure, self-identity. So if we go back here real quick, he uses his journal entries in the project knowledge. And if you want to do that, you could just make sure your character is not public, and then add it to the context. Add your journal entries right here so you can talk about personal stuff in your life and know that it's not going anywhere. No one else is going to see it. Your conversations aren't being used as training data, and it's not being sold to the highest bidder. So there you have it. It's very simple and fun to create your own private and uncensored therapist or any kind of character using Venice AI. You can get started by going to Venice AI and clicking characters, and as you saw in this video, very simple, very effective if you use it the right way, and most importantly, private.